Have you ever seen two brands on one product and just kind of scratched your head, wondering why them? Like a car company and a watchmaker, or two logos on your coffee pods. It can seem pretty random, but there's actually a fascinating science to it. And it turns out what we think makes these partnerships successful, well, we might have it all wrong.
Okay, so let's get into it. This whole strategy has a name. It's called co-branding. It's simply when two or more brands team up on a single product, and you see it literally everywhere, from tech to trucks to stain removers. It's a super popular marketing move. But what's the real secret sauce? What actually makes one of these partnerships a hit?
I mean, you definitely know these. Think about the Senseo coffee machine. That's Philips Electronics and Dow Egberts Coffee working together. Or those beastly Ford F-250 trucks with the Harley-Davidson branding. Even that Tide Buzz stain remover, which was a team-up between Black & Decker and Tide. They just feel right, don't they? But the why behind their success is a lot more interesting than you might think.
Now, for the longest time, the go-to answer for this has been super simple. It all comes down to one little word: fit. The idea is that the two brands just have to make sense together. And I mean, that sounds totally obvious, right? But what does fit even mean? Let's unpack that.
First up, you've got product fit. This is pretty straightforward. Do the products themselves belong together? You know, like a credit card company teaming up with a restaurant. That just clicks. They're both part of the world of spending money, so in our brains, it feels logical. That's a high product fit. Check.
Then there's the other half of the puzzle, brand fit. This isn't about the what, it's about the who. Do the brand's images line up? A classic example would be BMW and Hermes getting together. You just hear those names and you think expensive, classy, luxury, right? The vibes match perfectly. A partnership between them should be a total slam dunk. At least that's what the old playbook says.
So, to wrap up the old theory, you need both. High product fit plus high brand fit equals a success story. The products match, the brands match. Easy peasy. And this common sense idea has been running the show in marketing for a long, long time.
But what if that's not the real story? See, some researchers came along and decided to poke a hole in that common sense theory. They found this hidden factor, something way deeper. That's a real game changer. And it all comes down to something called brand positioning.
What if this whole fit thing, this neat little box we've put everything in, isn't the most important part? What if we've all been so focused on whether the brands just look good together that we've completely missed the thing that actually makes us care?
And that is where brand positioning enters the chat. Now, this distinction is crucial. Positioning is not the same as brand image. Image is like what the brand is wearing. You know, I'm a luxury brand. Positioning is its soul. It's what the brand fundamentally stands for. Is it the toughest, the most innovative, the best value? That special spot it owns in your mind, that's its position.
So how in the world do you test something like this? Well, the researchers were pretty clever. They designed this awesome experiment where they basically invented a few brand partnerships, mashed up some famous names on new products, and then just showed them to people to see what they thought.
Okay, Exhibit A, a tablet computer made by Sony and HP. Now you look at that and think, yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? You've got two tech giants, product fit is high, brand fit is high, they're both all about quality technology. According to the old rules, this is the perfect partnership. Then, they threw a bit of a curveball. Exhibit B, a skincare product from Nivea and Calvin Klein. Now this one's a little weirder, isn't it? Nivea is your everyday, dependable skincare. Calvin Klein is all high fashion and edgy. The fit here is, well, it's a little blurry.
And for the grand finale, they came up with this, a super rugged smartphone from Casio and Red Bull. And you're probably thinking, wait, what? A watch company and an energy drink making a phone? I mean, the product fit is basically zero. The brand fit seems totally out there. This is the kind of team up that the old fit theory would call a definite no-go.
So the researchers had their fake products. They showed them to a bunch of people, and now it was time to crunch the numbers. They dug into the data to find out what really influenced people's opinions. And what they found? Whoa! It basically blew that whole fit theory right out of the water.
So here's the first bombshell. Remember product fit and brand fit? Turns out they barely moved the needle. Statistically speaking, they had almost no significant impact on how people felt about the new products. All that time spent making sure things look right together, apparently it didn't really matter.
So if fit wasn't the secret, then what was? The answer came back loud and clear. It was all about the positioning of the original brands. Let's go back to that Casio and Red Bull phone.
What does Casio stand for? Durability, right? Tech that lasts. And Red Bull? Energy, adventure, pushing limits. You put those two meanings together, and suddenly a rugged smartphone doesn't just make sense, it sounds awesome. The meaning was way more powerful than the category.
And that right there is the punchline. The researchers themselves said it best. Brand positioning is the single most robust indicator of how we'll evaluate a co-brand. It's not about the shallow stuff, the surface-level compatibility. It's about a real, deep connection between what these brands fundamentally mean to us.
Okay, so why does any of this matter? Well, this isn't just some dusty old academic finding. This is a total rewrite of the playbook for marketers. And for us, the people actually buying this stuff, it gives us a brand new set of glasses to see through the marketing hype. If you're a marketer, the takeaway is huge. Stop obsessing over finding a partner who sells similar stuff. Instead, find a partner whose core meaning, their positioning, clicks with and strengthens your own. Imagine a brand that stands for innovation, teaming up with one that stands for beautiful design. It doesn't matter if one makes software and the other makes furniture. Together, they create something that feels both groundbreaking and gorgeous.
And for us, it's like we've been let in on the secret. The next time you see a brand partnership, you can look beyond the obvious. You can ask yourself, okay, what's the real story here? What bigger idea are they trying to build in my mind by joining forces? It's a strategic play for meaning, and now you know how to spot it.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Next time you're out and you see two logos on one product, what are you going to look for? Will you just see the superficial match, the fit, or will you look a little deeper and try to decode what each brand truly stands for?